I wanted to learn formatting for myself. I think it's important to know the basis of the things that you are getting done. So even have the time, but when you don't have time, you need to have money.
What if you could take charge of your publishing and then leverage your book to create financial freedom and leave a legacy? Wouldn't you want to find out just how to do that? Well, that's what this podcast is all about.
Hi, I'm Hennika Watkis Porter, speaker, coach, author of Podcast Power, and the host of the Entrepreneurial You podcast, inviting you to listen to the Entrepreneur Secrets podcast, brought to you by C. Ruth Taylor, best-selling indie author and the Caribbean's most trusted voice on entrepreneurship. Tune in for inspiration, information, and innovation to write and win with books. Get ready to dominate entrepreneurship.
Today, we are looking at our author support services and some of our authors who are now moving from just publishing their books to helping other authors to self-publish. And today I have with me Tasharae Nicholson, author of Broken Silence, The Unraveling Truth. She's a certified early childhood practitioner, a Christian life coach, speaker, and a member of our Entrepreneur Secrets Academy. In fact, she's one of our certified publishing coaches. And today she's going to tell us her story, how she became an author, and what she has been doing since. So welcome to the summit, Tasharae.
Thank you for having me, Ruth. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. So let's jump right into it. I like the title of your book. It's Broken Silence, The Unraveling Truth. That's the first book. Talk to us. How did you become an author? What led you on this journey?
This is quite an interesting response that you're about to get. Okay. But I've always been writing as a little girl. Like, I would write everything. And because of that writing habit, I was able to gather material from back then. I didn't know, however, that I was going to become an author. It was upon instruction that the Lord gave me. And I'm like, when he told me to break silence, I was doing my laundry and I heard in my spirit, worshiping and everything, and I heard in my spirit, Broken Silence, The Unraveling Truth, write that book. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what kind of silence am I going to break? If I break silence, like, am I not going to be ashamed? And, all of the little questions based on what I've been through. If I'm really breaking silence, I think, there's some room for shame, some room for trouble and all of these things. Because when I am speaking, should I speak, I am very candid. And so I was concerned. But nonetheless, the Holy Spirit told me the reason. And it was because there are so many others who are going through things similar to that which I went through, or exactly like what I went through. And he said that if I shared, it would help them, give them the courage, give them some hope so that they can push through. And on that premise, I agreed, because why would I go through all of the things that I did just to go through and sit on it? And so on that premise, I started to write in depth, and then I started gathering from old writings. I didn't know they were going to come in handy, so it's good to write.
Awesome. So how long did it take you to write this book, Broken Silence?
I would say a year, give and take, based on the fact that I had some pre-writings, and I would get the nudge as to what is to go. Because I did, as I said, I didn't know I was going to write a book. But when I got to some certain points, I found that it was needed to be inserted in those sections.
Okay. So 1 year is still quick. And what was the approach in terms of publishing? How did you approach your publishing?
Publishing, it was scary for me because I realized that it's really expensive to get that done. And first of all, I was broke. Flat broke. I had no money at all, so I did not see how it worked. Though I know persons who did publishing and so on, I just knew that I'm not working. I had not the money to get it done. And I started just searching and researching, and I read. Reading is what also helped me, because as I got to certain points, I started asking particular question, and Google was my friend for that. And that surfaced responses in terms of, I can check book and whatever until I came to local to find out that I could buy my stuff through the library.
So basically you self-published, and because of the finances, you chose to basically study and what we say, DIY a lot of it. Did you outsource any part of it at all, the editing?
Well, I did outsource 2 parts. I tried 3 parts, but then I had to just rally back and do the other part. So it really was 2 parts that I outsourced, and that was the editing and then the editing and the formatting, because I had not learned formatting just yet.
Awesome. And I'm glad you said that, because this is, the crux of it. I say, if you have to sacrifice on anything, it should be your editing. The other things you can spend the time, yes, learning, but editing is key. So I am glad you did that, because when we talk about self-publishing, we're not encouraging you to do everything yourself. And even if you are a professional editor, you always need another pair of eyes to look at the work, to assess it. And then it depends on the genre, because just because you know English doesn't mean that you know how to edit the story structurally to let it flow and meet the objectives. So I'm glad that you were able to do that. But that leads me into the other part, because we're featuring you today at the launch of Bamboo Sparks and the team that will be working with us. So the fact that you're able to take charge of your publishing, it means therefore someone who is coming to you now, just starting out, you're able to take them from start to finish. And I know now you are currently assisting authors. Talk to us about how you got into that and what are the services that you currently offer.
I think how I got into it, my memory is serving me right, I wanted to learn formatting for myself. I think it's important to know the basis of the things that you're getting done. So even you might not have the time, but when you don't have time, you need to have money. And when you don't have money, you need to have time. So with that, I thought it was good that I sought to learn formatting. And of course, EMI. So EMI was offering the course to do book formatting. And if I may tell you, I borrowed that money to get it done because I thought it was something that I really needed to do. I thought that, well, you were my coach, if it's okay to tell the people. You were my coach, and I thought I've seen you, and I thought that you are really good at what you do. And based on that, I decided that, look, if it means I have to borrow the money, I'm going to borrow the money, because I can always make it back, or at some point pay it over time. And I can tell you all that I paid back my money. But really and truly, EMI helped me with that. And it branched off into something greater. It made me realize that, look, there are so many other persons who come to me now and then who would say, I want to write a book, what are the steps? And I'll guide them. But then when it becomes habitual, right, it needs to become a business. Yeah. So
certainly. And I understand that, because once you write a book, people are going to come to you and say, how did you do that? So that is in fact how I started offering publishing services. People would come to me, how did you publish your book? And they kept asking questions, and I resisted for a long time. And then they kept coming back, and then I was in a position to where I wasn't working. And one book is not enough to sell it and make a full-time living. So that is how I branched off into author services, and I'm seeing that that's the trajectory, and it is something that we encourage if you have the time and the patience and you feel that it is worth it, because some authors just want to focus on writing. So you've been helping persons, explaining the publishing process to them, but is there any particular aspect of it that you specialize in? So we're hearing book formatting. So if you want your book formatted in print or ebook form, then Tasharae is able to help you, especially if you're publishing on Amazon, So that's where she published as well. She's able to guide you in that process. What else are you offering to authors at this time? What else do they come to you about?
Video editing. I forgot about that. So from time to time, persons will come because others would have made mention of my work to them before, or they would just inquire. I do graphics, but I don't do heavy graphics at the moment because, you know, it takes a certain kind of focus to conceptualize stuff. And so I will stick to flyers. That's the basics. And I might, from time to time, I do the back covers of book. I won't say that I take on the front cover because that's very delicate. But I do try. I did my own. And so I try now and then. If it doesn't work out, then I don't think that's a strong point. But for the back covers and yeah, the video editing, so promotional stuff, those are things that I'll help with, the setting up of mailing system and so on, the management system for authors to get their stuff out, because, you know, mailing list is important and all of that.
Yes, that is certainly key. And the Broken Silence cover looks good, in my opinion. That memoir, that you did well on that cover. So we're hearing video editing because authors need promotional material. And many of the authors that we work with, they are not only selling their books, but they are using the book as a tool, as a vehicle to fulfill other things. So they are doing conferences, they need the video to promote it, or even just their book launch. In doing the online launch, they would need a video or some material. And you would have been watching this summit, the videos, you would have seen Tasharae's work, that she prepared some of our opening videos and all of those things. So you are actually seeing her skill at work. And if you need, as she said, to set up your email management system, because at the heart of every online business, at the heart of our author marketing, we need a group of people. We need our fan club. And you need to have the email address. If you remember what happened last year when Facebook shut down and Instagram and WhatsApp, you understand the importance of having those email addresses. And so we're offering these services that you can use to market and promote your books. But as you work with authors, are there any tips that you want to share as it relates to the email management system or putting a video together? What is it that the authors need when they come to get your assistance? Are there specific things that you're looking for?
If you can convey what it is that you want, then I'm sure I can help you. If I can't help you, then there's someone I can refer you to. But in terms of, like, if it's video creation, because I didn't mention that, I just mentioned the editing. If it's video creation, then you would need to submit quality photos to me, or clips, so that I can compile them and do the necessary work to get you the production that you need. Yeah, I liaison with my people. So if something is not up to par, doesn't match out to what they are expecting to get, then yeah, I have that conversation and make sure that we're on the same page and get the work done.
All right, basically. Awesome. I believe you had something on Instagram called Authors Chat, or you're launching a podcast. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
All right, so yes, it's a space to openly share. And as I said, to be real, raw, and relevant, real, being authentic, you know, just it's a no judgment zone. In fact, I have started doing some interviews, so they are pre-recorded, and we just have that chat, and it will be released soon.
Here we have a good example of an author who has branched out into a number of author services, and this is part of the authorpreneur focus that we are bringing. So you use your book as a platform. It could be the experience that you gained in publishing, then you begin to help others to publish, and you look around and look at the needs that are there. And I am so glad that Tasharae shared her story, because there are many of us, You know, when we are starting this author journey, we want to share a story, but we don't have any money. And Tasharae did it the smart way. If you remember from last year's summit, how I ended up in a whole heap of debt to get mine done. She did it the smart way, and she'll be able to help you to do it the smart way as well. So Tasharae, where can we find you and link with you? Other authors can link with you to hear more about what you have to offer and get your assistance. Talk to us.
Where can you find me? I'm on Instagram. You can find me under chosen_876.
All right, so Tasharae is one of the approved author service providers at Bamboo Spark, and you will be able to find her services on our Publishing Skills Center page. So we're going to put those links in the show notes, and we just want to thank Tasharae for just coming to have this little author chat with us, and we look forward to working with you. All the best, Tasharae. Thanks for sharing in this summit.
I'm Tamara Francis, educator and editor. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share the podcast with your network. If you'd like to increase your impact and income with books, visit authorpreneursecrets.com for more resources, including the books Pen It to Win It and Authorpreneur Secrets. Join the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy membership group for courses, coaching, and community support to write, publish, and win with books. Until next time, go pen it to win it.